In this video, I'll show you how you can become profitable really fast using a checklist. Because using a checklist has made me much more profitable, and it might actually be the thing that made me switch into profitability from only losing money. So first of all, why a trading checklist? Well, you need a trading checklist because otherwise, and most of you guys do this probably, is you will open your chart, you will just look for setups, look for entries, and you will think, hey, there's an entry here. I see this fair value gap, or I see this demand or supply zone. And you will try to find confirmations. So what most of you guys have when you are looking for trades is a confirmation bias. So most of you guys have a confirmation bias, and that's normal. That's just human nature. That's what everyone has. That's what researchers also have. So you are looking for confirmations to confirm your own bias. So you want to make money. You want to be in a trade. You want to find a trade every single day because then you can make money every single day. However, to be honest, there's just not a trade every single day. But you are trying to force yourself into trades because you have fear of missing out, you have all these emotions, and that's where this confirmation bias kicks in because you just want to make money. And this is actually losing you money. Having this confirmation bias, having emotions, that's losing you money. And to get rid of this, we want to have a strict system. So you want to be very strict to yourself, really put down in words what you're looking for, and then you don't have to confirm it by feeling good about the setup or having emotions. Because to be honest, that's how I used to trade. That's how many of you probably trade. You're opening the chart. You just trade based on feeling. You just think, okay, I feel like this is going to be a good trade. I feel like this has enough confirmations. That's not a good way to be trading. Because still to this day, I have a checklist for that. Because if I don't use my checklist, I will find trading setups in which I would say to myself, okay, looks good enough. This is probably a good entry. But then when I go through my checklist, I see that it's just a terrible entry. And then it just happens to be a bad entry. So you will see this very often. Your mind will just trick you into wanting to place trades because you have this fear of missing out. You have fear of loss as well. So you have all these emotions making you a losing trader. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Alan. I'm from the Profit Formula. And in these kind of videos, I help you to become profitable. And I make these videos completely for free. I just share my experiences and what's been working for me and for the people in my program so that you can become profitable. And if you struggle to become profitable, at the end of the video, I have something interesting for you. So watch till the end and then I can tell you more about that. So now we covered why you need a trading checklist. So now it's important to understand how you can make this checklist. And obviously, I know a lot of you guys will think, hey, just share your own checklist. Well, I won't because that won't help you. Because my checklist is really long. I've built it over time. And if I share it with you, you won't understand what I'm looking for. Because I've made it in my own words. You wouldn't understand any of it. You need to make your own checklist because then you can really form your own strategy. And then you know exactly what you need to be looking for. Because you will just fine-tune your checklist every single time. After every trade, you can reflect on your checklist and you can add certain things or you can remove certain things from the checklist so that eventually you will have a very solid checklist. So what you want to do is look at your strategy and see what the most important things about your strategy are. What are the crucial things in your strategy that need to be there or the trade will not be profitable? So really delve into your own strategy, see what are the concepts that I'm using, what are the important factors that I'm looking for, and turn them into a checklist. If you don't have a strategy yet, you can watch my videos, obviously, but make a checklist for yourself watching the videos or using your own strategy, because this is really important and every single person will have a slightly different strategy and therefore a slightly different checklist. So I'm gonna give you some examples, and again, this is not my checklist. I want you to make your own checklist because then you're really learning and really improving. But some examples that I can give you. So let's say you are trading based on liquidity. So you want to see a liquidity rate. Well, then the first point in your checklist could be that you want to see a liquidity rate. So you want to see the liquidity being taken out before you even find a trade. So you want to see this specific thing first, otherwise you will not even look for a trade. And then from here, you're building this checklist. So first start with the really important thing that you're looking for. So if you're trading breakouts, for example, you could also say there needs to be a breakout. And from there, you're making your checklist, because the first thing is the most important thing. So let's use this example. So you're waiting for a liquidity rate so that you can check this box if you see a liquidity rate. After the liquidity rate, you want to see a break of structure. So you want to see a lower low or a higher high being created to confirm that there has been a valid liquidity rate. So then another thing that you could want to see is a fair value gap being created. And some people call this an imbalance. It's basically the same thing. So that's a space between your candles, which many people use for their entries. I use it too as well. So you might want to wait for the liquidity to be taken out, then wait for a break of structure. That's your like confirmation that price is going in the right direction. And then you look for a fair value gap so that you can find an entry. And again, these are just examples. But another thing could be that it's along the daily bias. So you always have a daily bias that you can find from your higher time frame analysis. I made a video about it as well, daily bias. You can see my video on my channel. And probably by now you get the idea about it. So you are looking for the crucial things that you need to have in your trading setup in order to make it a valid trading setup. So if you don't have these things in your mind, you struggle with it, just take your time, sit down, think about what is really important for my trading setups to go well. What has been working for me in the past? And if you really don't know, again, watch the videos and then you can make a checklist based on the videos that you're watching. And this doesn't have to be a final checklist, because you will actually change this checklist every once in a while. So one final thing that you could also add to these kind of checklists is that the risk reward has to be above 2, for example. So I'm just saying something, try it out for yourself, what you want to see in your trades. So make a checklist of all the things that need to be perfect in your trade, the things that literally have to be perfect, and then put them in your checklist. So what we are now going to do is you're going to start your trading day, you're going to make your analysis, and when you think you find a good setup, you are using this checklist to check off all the boxes. And if there's one of these boxes missing, so let's say we have all these things, but we don't have the daily bias, then we will not place the trade. And this is what most people are doing wrong, in my opinion, because you probably heard about the idea of A+ setups. So those are like the perfect setups. And then you also have your B setups, your C setups. Well, a lot of traders, and this is their mistake, they are not only placing A setups, but they are also placing those B setups and C setups. But if you change it up and you only place A+ setups, you will greatly improve your profitability. And this could instantly make you profitable. And this is what I've seen with people, with myself as well. When I started to be really selective, use a checklist, I became instantly profitable because I already had the theories, I already had the strategy, but I just had too much emotions. And getting rid of those emotions by using a checklist can greatly improve your strategy. So let's say in this example, we have found a long trade, but the daily bias is that price will probably go down. We think the daily bias is down. So then we are not placing this trade because we only miss one of these boxes. So it's basically a B setup. And we are not placing B setups or C setups. We are only placing A setups. So it needs to check off all the boxes to be an A+ setup. And it could be more boxes. So I probably have something like this. I think I have so many boxes, and you can try it out for yourself. I like to have as many boxes as possible. Make the checklist as long as possible, because the longer it is, the better your trades will be and the better the quality of your setups will be. And one thing to keep in mind is that you probably won't be finding 10 trades in a week. It might go down to only 2 trades in a week. However, if you find 2 profitable trades in a week, you are more profitable than if you find 10 losing trades. I challenge you to make a checklist now, look at your strategy or watch my videos, make a checklist and try it out, and you will see much better results in the upcoming weeks. So by the way, really quick, if you struggle to get consistently profitable, you can obviously watch the videos, but if you still struggle, you can send me a message on Instagram @AlanTheTrader, because I can help you with that. Because I have the profitability program in which we help people to get profitable in a matter of months instead of years. So if you're interested in that, send me a DM on Instagram, and thanks for watching the video. I will see you next time.